Okay. 7 o'clock? 7 o'clock, it's gonna
Wow.
be a long time.
Flashback.
5 o'clock? 5 o'clock. Welcome everyone. September 16th, meeting of the Board of Trustees. 2 trustees, one is not available this evening. Road superintendent, road administrator is not available this evening. Fiscal officer is here and fire chief's here. So we'll call the meeting to order. I'd entertain a motion to adopt the minutes of September 4th, 2019.
I so move.
There's a motion, I'll second that. Any further discussion regarding the minutes? Made one amendment to it, one.
Thank you.
Did you want to ask Margaret anything about that?
Nope.
Okay. Hearing no further discussion, may we vote please?
Mr. Hollister?
Yes.
Mr. Reacher?
Yes. I now entertain a motion to approve payment of bills in the amount of $97,555.11.
Ka-ching.
Was that a motion? Okay,
I
official
move.
motion.
Motion. I move that we approve payment of bills.
All right, I'll second. It generated from general fund $2,802.13, fire fund $19,510.02, cemetery fund $228.60, EMS billing $9,804.80, road and bridge a whopping $61,909.56, and coming in last and least is capital project 0.
Wow, when was the last time the
You know
road
what?
and bridge
That's
fund
not-
beat the fire
Yeah.
department?
That's not correct.
Okay,
The total is correct, but actually the capital project fund, okay, wait a minute, $1,000.
oh,
Remember
that's
the other
right,
one, the other one is not,
right.
yeah, okay, yeah, I had 33, anyway, it's 1,000 is the capital project fund.
So, the road and bridge, is this paying the county engineer for?
$58,000 in chip seal. Uh-huh.
We actually pay the contractor directly.
Directly, okay. But county engineer arranged the
Mhm.
pricing.
Collective bidding.
Discussion regarding payment of those bills, hearing none, may we vote please?
Mr. Hollister?
Yes.
Mr. Reacher?
Yes. Correspondence for the period. Annual report from Star, Ohio. That's a must read. RPCC Executive Committee meeting reminder for tomorrow. An update for the Natural Burial Cemetery Guide. A meeting set up for members of Greene County's MVRPC members for October 16th. Or no, I'm sorry, it's gonna be on the 23rd. Confirmation of that. Solicitation from MVRPC of Fast Act projects, which we don't generally do because Fast Act projects are generally pretty good size road resurfacing projects. Although now that we're coming into more gas tax money, maybe next year we'll have some. A schedule change for the Yellow Springs Comprehensive Land Use Plan Update Steering Committee, which will be held on the 16th of October, the next one. August Bath Township response from sent from Colin to Bath Township last. Do you have this in your report? Are you going to go over that, or?
I can.
Okay. All right, we'll wait for that then. Question about condition of main hall. Did that get finished totally? Cleaned out main hall after stair climb? Yes? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was needed to clean out before they could do the stair climb, and the stair climb's over with. So it got done.
Well, yeah, we got all our stuff out of there because I wouldn't want to upset anyone even that we've cleaned that building for years and taken better care of it than anyone else. But hey, no bitterness.
Right, I can tell. Copy of Economic Sustainability Commission minutes of September from Karen Winthrop. some electronic correspondence with Jerry McDonald, the new lawyer for the YSCDC, about the
Could I see that?
bylaws that are being produced, and we should have them to vote on next meeting. Because we can't be we can't, well, we could, I don't know if we could. We are going to consider designating the new CDC as our designated agent for such projects. We don't have to have them, but if you don't designate them, they can't do it.
Right.
So we're making baby steps. Notice from Sprint about our data service, an invitation to Devin Shoemaker for tomorrow night's joint meeting with the zoning commission. A response to Gwen Agna about cemetery question. Response to Connie Taylor about closing the line of credit for tomorrow. We'll probably take that up under firehouse, at least a little bit. Request from a furniture group for furnishing the new firehouse. Invitation to groundbreaking to a few people, a personal invitation as opposed to a blast, an email blast. A commitment to a appraisal, a building appraiser for this building to get a value that we can go on for putting it on the market. That'll take a couple, 3 weeks probably. A nice note from Ed Marion.
Did I look at that one? The appraisal one.
So $1,300 cost for that. Bunch of resolutions back and forth that had to go out from our last meeting, as you recall, because we designated signers and we designated stuff to go out for the West Banco line of credit. Confirmation that we sent the application in for the builder's risk insurance, and a response from Otarma that he has sent it off to the Traveler Insurance Company, and it's gonna cost us $4,800, I think, for that. We'll have $5 million of overall coverage, builder's risk. Then there's a couple of specific on-site coverages for damage or loss of construction material that might be stored and pilfered or whatever happens to it. Nestor is dealing with the village on the conditional use hearing that's coming up in October. That we'll have a continuation of the conditional use, pardon me?
I'm not sure. Remind me, Nestor.
Nestor from MSA.
Oh, okay.
Lots of messages back and forth about establishing the first Thursday of every month at 11 o'clock for our standing meeting for construction on the new. We'll meet, I assume we'll meet here, and the contractors will submit invoices.
Oh, I guess I have to come to that one.
Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. they may just submit the invoices and then we'll put them on your desk and. then
Hope they get paid.
And they hope they get paid. We were told some years ago how that process worked, but I have since forgotten.
Right, yeah.
Confirmation that we reduced our contractors from 7 to 5. Subcontractors basically, reduced from 7 to 5. Strange little turn of events. 2 of the contractors could not meet USDA requirements for bonding and insurance, and they had to be double bonded. No one else gets double bonded, but USDA required them to get double bonded. And 2 of them thought that it might take a while for them to get the double bonds, so we let them drop out and then included their work in the major J-Corp contractor who had also bid those 2. It was the electrical and the overhead doors. The J-Corp had also bid those 2 as alternates.
So J-Corp will now do them, or these 2 companies will be subcontractors under J-Corp?
That's correct. The same 2 companies
Okay.
will be subcontracted under J-Corp, but we now have to pay $17,000 more to J-Corp for the privilege of them overseeing the 2 contractors.
And that'll still end up being cheaper than if J-Corp did it directly.
No.
But
J-Corp's bid was $17,000 more
okay.
than the combination of the 7, but the 2 of the 7 had to withdraw. They didn't have to, but it just was the best way to do it. So now you see them, now you don't. An inquiry from someone who had hoped to be able to bid on the roof by itself for the firehouse, and they may be able to bid it to J-Corp, I don't know. Some correspondence back and forth with Peter Hahn, our contract attorney in Columbus, who is just about to get to work as of maybe 11 o'clock tomorrow. We can talk about where the contracts are. Some emails back and forth, copies, I guess some of them are, most of them are, from Don and Home Inc., and hopefully you'll be able to give us a little more light on that in the
We talked about the firehouse before, yeah.
I think that's it. Any other correspondence in or out for this period?
I did put on the table a lot of information that was submitted by Otarma on loss control information, different things that they like to see in place to, cover damages if we get sued for anything or any of that kind of stuff, to keep us all lined up.
Was that in here? I'm sorry.
It was right there on the, it was on the desk, yeah, I mean, I can get it real quick.
I'll go look.
I got it. I know what I'm looking for.
I know there was some discussion about that. It was something. There it goes.
Here it is.
There it is.
You can look at it if you want or not, we can go over it. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'm thinking this is gonna take some look-sees.
Yeah, it's, yeah, I could zip through it briefly and so, because I know a lot of what it is anyway, so.
Let's do it the next meeting.
That's,
Okay. Is that all right with you?
a lot of it has to do with the road department anyway, so it's better with Dan's here to hear it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right. No further correspondence, we shall move along to the fire department report. That'd be you.
That'd be me.
Mhm.
All right. Since the last board meeting, 13 days ago? We've had 37 EMS incidents, 28 fire incidents, and have conducted 4 fire safety inspections. The 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb went off well, was it last weekend? 2 weeks ago. 2 Saturdays ago. We had 94 climbers who participated. They raised over $9,000. And with our corporate donors, we've raised just about $20,000. And our top raising team was Team MTFR. Second year in a row. Take that, Holly. So that was great, been a good time. Tomorrow night we've got our first conceptual Bath Township mobile open house at Twin Towers Park from 6:30 to 8. So we're hoping for a decent crowd. It'll be a nice day apparently. So we're gonna do hot dogs and fire engine rides and give out stuff for the kids and see how that works. We distributed flyers in the residential development areas until the postal service told us to stop. And we finished up one of the areas today by just doing it. So
Or because they were stuck in the box instead of around the box.
no, you can't even put it around the box. For years we've been doing like rolling flyers up and putting them between the flag and the box because we knew you couldn't put it in the box. But apparently you can't put anything around the box either. So either a newspaper box, which apparently everyone has, but you can tell no one gets a newspaper anymore because they're all spiderweb door, or you gotta go door to door, or mail them, which I understand why the post office wants you to do that. They don't want to do that for, well, we don't have a mailing list for Bath Township, so that wouldn't cost a lot. Anyway, so hopefully between social media and the two big residential areas, someone will show up.
Well, Don and I won't show up,
All right,
unfortunately.
we won't have you, we'll have Steve Ross, so.
Yeah, or Steve.
So
So there's 3 hot dogs and 3 ice cream cones. You just go
Yeah.
ahead.
I'll cover those for you.
all right, I got hot dogs for you, Margaret.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a problem, I just never know how many hot dogs to get. But the beauty is if they don't eat them, these guys will eat them. And luckily, 2 boxes of hot dogs not that expensive from that place, GFS. Anyway, so hopefully that'll go well. With that, you have the Bath Township report for the month of August.
Yep.
You can see it was a humdinger of a month. We did 5 calls in Bath Township. We started the year off pretty hot. I think the month of January we had 16 calls, and we thought, oh god, it's really a nightmare. And then it dropped down to about 9. The last couple months we've only had about 5 or 6 calls a month. Now, I believe we had 6 calls in the last 3 days in Bath Township. So it kind of goes in spurts. Our total numbers, I think, were maybe around 50 for the year. We definitely got the better end of the stick, because I know Bethel Township's up around 120,
Really?
and Beaver Creek's 170, so. So getting the biggest area, but the smallest population probably helps us out, so.
Did you remove anybody? I thought you used to put, oh yeah, you did, it was the second page.
Yeah, yeah, I can't get
What
these
else do you-
spreadsheets to print out on one page. I gotta talk to Chief Van Boss. He does this really amazing
Oh,
thing,
yeah, I've
drop
seen this.
downs,
Yeah.
and I can barely make Excel work. So, but yes, there were 3 transports, all to Soin, and then 2 no removals. And our response time is total response time is just under 9 minutes from getting the call to arriving in Bath Township. So
That's pretty good.
that's not bad. Not bad at all. So yeah, there you go.
Okay, thank you.
And as far as I know, we haven't received any complaints. There was a public records request that we received from a resident in Bath Township who was requesting information for another resident regarding a call that she had heard that we couldn't take, that we gave it to mutual aid for an unconscious child. I had no record of it, so I called Mindy at Central Dispatch, and she said, oh, that call. It turned out it was in Bethel Township area, so it wasn't a problem, so that's good.
Yeah.
We like that, so. And then, the guys, Alex and Justin were present at Cookout at Antioch
That was wonderful.
last 2 Sundays ago, assisting a certain trustee with an event that he was organizing under his other hat, one of his other many hats.
It was,
And they said they had a good time. And I have an interview with an Antioch student on Friday who wants to go to Friday morning. So
partly because of that or separately?
I'll give him credit to that, but But still.
There was a certain, there are a half dozen local organizations that backed this, either through volunteers or paying for food, just to welcome students. And to have the ambulance pull up and back in next to the old Union building, and 2 firefighters get out, and then naturally start being grill masters. They were the butt of various jokes and comments.
Well, good. Very good.
Friendly.
Yes, I should. I would hope so. I would hope so, because we were, subsequently, I think we were up there twice in a row for fire alarms in the dorm, so. I think that's it. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys, but part-time guy, Justin Poteet, was working his last shift on Saturday for us. He'll go down to volunteer. He's starting the Dayton Police Academy on Monday, so. Something he's wanted to do
one
for a
of
while.
the
Yes, he was one of the
grill
guys who was there.
masters.
Yeah, he's worked with Alex, he works with Alex, so I gotta fill that shift. I mean, I think Georgia Goad will be taking over, but I've got a couple that she can't do because she's still doing her own job, so. So, yeah. So that's it.
I did have a conversation with a local resident who Justin assisted when she needed some help, and she thought he was very nice, so.
Oh, good.
She's the one who told me that he was leaving.
Oh,
to
okay.
become a police officer, but anyway, so, good for him.
That's why he's grown the mustache, so he can fit in as a police officer. At least, that's what we know. No, he's been a great addition to the department, great attitude, great public relations, so it's a shame to see him go, but it's something he's wanted to do for a long time. And, I mean, assuming he makes it to the academy, which I have no reason to think he won't, he'll be a great addition for the Dayton Police Department. Has a really good head and shoulders, and a good philosophy about what policing should be, and hopefully not what Dayton's. But if Dayton's police chief does yoga with his recruits, I think he'll probably mission pretty well, so. Anyway, that is it. Oh, there was a nice letter in the Yellow Springs News as well about Chief Carlson and Brett Hausman and Nate Ayers about helping a patient, so it was very nice to see. So, it was, excuse me, appreciate seeing that kind of stuff, so, yeah. And that's it for us. We've been just doing our thing. Medicaid 2's been in to Enid several times. It's got that hydraulic ride system in the back to keep it smooth. And apparently there's a valve, there are valves that control that, and the valve went bad on the left side, so it developed this RTA lean. And it's fine once you start the ambulance and it drives, but it sits in the beta in this lean, so we had that fixed, and then that valve that the company sent to Dave was bad, so I had to go back up, get another valve, thank God this time for free. And it came back, the valve from the right side went bad too, so they've replaced that one. Denny called like all these references when we decided to put the system in, they were like, oh, we've never had a problem. So apparently we get the bad valves. So hopefully it's all fixed, knock on plywood. So.
You joined the company of quite a few people who owned Lincoln Town cars from the 70s and 80s. And the bane of their existence is the self-leveling shock absorbers. Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe Lincoln is making
It could be.
making these for hydraulic spring or whatever the company's called. So hopefully it's fixed. Of course, the first time we had the problem, the parts had just gone out of warranty. Of course. But the third time Dave was like, look, you need to send us these papers for free because something's wrong. And he said the company didn't give him any quibble about that. So that's good. So that's always very nice.
Did you happen to do the two agri-tourism fire marshal inspections you said you were going to do?
Yes,
This week.
talked with Nate about that, and he wasn't on today, so I gotta figure out where he is for that. So I think we were gonna do it on Thursday when he's back on shift.
Okay.
Just he's never done one, so it was a good thing for him to go out and take a look at. But what's the other one?
Clementine.
Oh, Clementine, right. I always forget about that.
I have no idea what they use those barns for. where are you with your social media policy update and training class, potential training class?
I just need to
Project?
schedule the time with Jerry.
Mhm.
It was a little hectic the last couple of weeks, but I've reviewed his review,
Mhm.
and it makes sense to me.
Mhm.
So he wants to do a couple classes. I think if we do two, we'll probably be able to get most everybody in.
Mhm.
And everyone else can just read it, you know,
Sure.
and sign off on it. Yeah, the changes weren't significant, which is good.
Mhm.
That whoever we stole that policy from initially did a good job. But the ones he's added do make a lot of sense to reference people to other policies and that kind of thing, so. I emailed him tonight, today. I told him that, we would get with him, and email him back, so, no problem, I'm on your schedule.
Mhm. That's good.
But he's on retainer, so I guess he could be on schedule if he wants to. But we'll try and get the trainings done maybe this month. Or I guess we're learning that this month, so.
Just to confirm, between you and Margaret, did the SAM renewal get done?
I'm doing that tomorrow.
Okay.
I just got it from the federal government, not from the contractors, so. I usually wait till I get it from SAM themselves.
Yeah.
Because the contractor ones, those initial ones we've received like 7 months ago. What I've learned is they're the ones that always direct you to pay $300 to renew it.
Mhm.
And SAM, it's 3 steps and it's free, so,
What is this?
yeah. Nice.
I don't know what-
Yeah, we spent like $600 the first 2 times prior to this whole fire station thing, but just because of grants.
Mhm.
And then I discovered, oh wait, you can do it for free through SAM directly, and
Wait.
for a lot less.
I don't
Sam-
know what we're talking about.
SAM is the system for awards management. It's a federal system designed to make everything easier, though I don't think it does. That if you apply for grants or receive any federal money, you have to be registered in this SAM system. So we have to do it every year, and it's a number basically. And that way, in this current situation, USDA is happy to give us money, or they can give us money. And then when we apply for federal grants or FEMA aid, you have to have that number so that they know that you're already, I guess, accredited through the federal system, and they don't make you reapply, which is nice. So it has streamlined grant applications, because you kind of eliminate 800 pages of federal
Mhm.
paperwork. So. And at least for this, once the SAM thing comes through, it's a breeze to me, and it's free now that now that I know that. So. It was kind of shocking when I did it last year through the SAM system for the first time for free, and I thought, these contractors have the gall to charge you $300 for something that I answered in 5 clicks. I guess that's capitalism.
I don't know who's been sending us emails, but we seem to get them on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's typically their
Emergency registration notice,
Yeah.
re-registration, whatever it is.
there are contractors, and they always have a name that sounds like the government, so it's federal something. We
Mhm.
get it with our radio licenses when they expire every 10 years. And you think, oh god, it's not the FDA, FCC. And then finally you get a notice from the FCC, a month before. And basically all you have to do is just sign it, unless you're making any changes. But if you pay these guys, they'll do it, oh yeah, we'll do that for $300 for you, so. The last time we had to do something, we paid P&R communications, because we changed it when we switched to marks.
Mhm.
And that was a 300-page application, so we were happy to pay P&R $100 to take care of it for us, so. But I'll take care, Sam's on my list for tomorrow, so I'll do my 3 or 4 clicks, and we'll be good for another year.
Okay. Don, you want to bring us up to speed on where we are on using our friendly neighborhood?
There's no substantive change. It's not clear to me whether that we'll be able to get an answer until Emily is back.
Mhm.
So that's
That should be
not
fine.
quite 2 weeks from now.
That should be fine.
But that is, we were asking Homing if we could put dirt on the neighboring lot and then maybe later park equipment there. And the 2 concerns are liability and relations with neighbors.
Who's been parking there? I've passed it, sometimes I've driven by and that parking area is full.
The
Is it Friends?
Friends Care Center had, on a couple different days, they had parking lots resealed.
Oh, okay, I figured it was something like that.
And today there were big semis full of roofing material. I think they were taking them across the street with a new roof on part of it.
Yeah, they're roofing, well, at least the nursing home part,
Mhm.
they're gonna build buildings, but.
Oh,
Homemaker has resubmitted plans too for the building,
mhm.
I think it's just a really conditional use. They did a little bit of a change, they dropped from 4 stories to 3.
Is that right?
So I haven't gotten any information, I haven't asked about insurance. Would our construction liability insurance,
No, we would actually not be involved with it at all. It's the responsibility of J-Corps
Mhm.
to find, negotiate, any off-site location. So, once we get a positive, a commitment from Home Inc., we'll give their information to the J-Corps people,
Okay.
which we will meet this coming Wednesday at the pre-con meeting at 9:30 Wednesday morning.
Well, I'll email Brittany, who's also on home, and just touch base, find out if there's any new
Mhm.
wrinkle.
Okay. So, but that'll be out of our hands, which is nice, and it will be in professional hands, which is nicer, because this is what they do on every project, or probably most every project. So, no inventing.
But it'd be nice if we can help grease the situation,
Mhm. Yeah,
speed up the communication.
all right. So, that's leading us into new firehouse stuff. I guess the main one is, we are working our way through contracts. This multiple stage business of the contracts is just, I realize it's not brain surgery, but it just seems to be very confusing. But so far, 2 contracts are finished. And they're not finished. One is with the general contractor, the J-Car Construction, and the other one is with, I'm just not gonna be able to pull it up, Faisal Construction, but they will be doing the site work. Of course, that's basically the first thing we need to have done, and J-Car will be doing the borings for the geo piers. Whether they do it themselves or they contract with the geo piers, I'm not sure. There are 2 companies that are qualified to do that. Geo piers and another one I can't think of. But anyway, so those are the 2 we would like to have, settled first. So, MSA has finished getting all the contract forms, all the required forms on, and most of it's USDA forms. You saw at our last group meeting, there was a whole printout of required, who was required to do what, and which forms and which bonds and which bid packages, etc. But 2 of them are complete from MSA. They will be here tomorrow morning. Jason's gonna bring them to us. And then it's a little confusing. We either have to electronically send them to our lawyer, Peter Hahn, and I'm sure he has no problem, because everything we've sent to him so far was electronic submissions. And then once he's done reviewing them, they go to USDA for final approval, and that's the one we don't know whether it has to be in the original form or it can be done electronically, but it's gonna take Peter a couple of days to go over the contracts just to make sure. There's really very little that he needs to really review. It's just, is this form there, is that form there? He's just confirming that what's
And the
required.
original forms are USDA forms.
Mhm. Yeah. And then he signs off on those, or we sign off on them first when they come here tomorrow, then it goes to him to get signed off on, and then it goes to the USDA, Mike Davis in Columbus, for the final signature and authorization. And once that's done, and we're hoping it's done on Wednesday, I can't believe they're gonna turn all this over for that fast, but who knows? Doesn't really matter, it would just look good. You then can officially award the contract, and then they start moving equipment on site. Wow. And it's just so much back and forth, it's just, and then it has to, of course, there has to be 5 sets of all 5 contracts, because everybody's gonna get one. We're gonna get one, USDA's gotta get one, the architect's gotta get one, the contractor's gotta have one, so there's gotta be 5 total sets that have to be of the 5 different contractors, down from 7. So anyway, that's being done, and it's being done by people who know who gets what and when, and it's not been left up to us. I think I said the builder's risk policy is in process, so that's good. Well, let's turn to the groundbreaking on Wednesday, just for fun, and review a to-do list. This is everybody's to-do list. Okay, so as we talked about, I think everybody's in agreement on how we're gonna set the ground up with the equipment in the background, 5 members of the department on either side of the E35 digger that Colin will be in, and then in front of the bucket will be a lectern will be set up, and there'll be a PA system there, and then
Did you get a battery PA system?
it's not here yet, but Alex or somebody's gonna pick it up Wednesday morning in Centerville.
We can't.
Can we get it Tuesday afternoon, or is it just like a single day?
I think it's a single day. We call that, I don't know. And then Young's Moo Truck, I don't know what the name of it, it's Young's on the Go, that's the name of the thing. Will be to the left on kind of an angle, looking at, you with us?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Will be kind of an angle, and then on either side of its window, the service window, do we have 2 easels?
I'll let me check.
Okay.
I know I have one.
Yeah,
But-
I know we have one, I was asking, yeah, okay, well, we're gonna put these 2 perspective drawings on either side of the service windows, so people will be able to see that.
Wait, I was saying make this a new one.
No, on Wednesday,
Well, no, I mean,
it's $2,500 or something.
You could use the one that's,
oh, I guess, yeah.
you could use the one that's there now.
Just wait out the monitors.
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem, is the monitors. Okay, so then they'll be there, and then we're gonna take all these tables and all the chairs. It's gonna be a nice day, it's going to be sunny, it's gonna be 90 degrees. The sun is going to be in the crowd's eyes, they're gonna be looking into the sun. We are gonna be looking away from the sun, yeah.
You want us to set up our pop-up over the podium? That's right there, that's right.
Now, who is the crowd? How much publicity have we done on this?
I've sent out 90 invitations.
Shazam.
How many did you send out in your blast?
Not nearly that many, 20, 22.
Okay.
But we put it up on Facebook,
Well, I put it on my Facebook.
and it's
There was
in the paper.
a nice thing in the paper.
So it could be anywhere from 20 to
2,000.
7,000, but I'm thinking closer to
20.
I've got like 10 guys coming so far, but
Okay.
even though most of my people don't live in Yellow Springs anymore, they've adopted that very Yellow Springs, like wait till the last minute to tell you a chief already has 17 ulcers. What's one more?
Wonder where they got that. All right, so then the easels will be set up there, and the tables, and there are 45 plus chairs around if necessary, and so we'll put those around. And the reason the tables are because we're going to be providing cups of ice cream and bottled water if they want. But that's all. We're not using their food thing. Yeah, we need to move people through. You know, if we have some long line, well, let me have 6 cheese curds and a chili fries and whatever. You know.
Sounds pretty good though.
I know,
But it's free ice cream, right?
Yes, it's complimentary.
It's free ice cream.
It's free ice cream. Not free for us, but free.
Oh, yeah.
for-
Well,
And so, the big bell rings at 11. Oh, and we'll have 2 sets of balloons on either side of the pipes. Basically, that's where I was thinking of them.
Oh, okay, well, that's easy enough.
You'll know where to put them.
Well, you can find them.
And those are funded by the Firefighters Association.
Yes, fund by our association, thank you very much to them. And then, we're going to need a couple of trash containers lined, to be
Okay.
provided by the fire department.
Do that.
Good. And I've got some napkins or paper towels, because at 90 degrees, could be some sticky fingers out there.
This was gonna go fast.
That's a good time.
It's like
It's-
that.
Not at 11 o'clock in the morning.
It's half about 100.
The more the better, probably. Okay, so the plan for the, or the morning is, Don and I will start out at the podium. And you're welcome to say whatever you'd like to say.
Are you sure?
A nice long speech, if you have, lots of words of wisdom that
Mine
you'd
will be
like
very
to,
brief.
that you
Very
like to do
brief.
that.
And I'll introduce the president of the
Chairperson,
chairperson, excuse me.
right? You're not allowed to be called the president anymore.
Right. Could we flip that and I will introduce you, just because
Sure.
I wanna
That's fine.
call out 3 people on how we actually got the grounds
No, it
before we
makes-
get to the
It
building.
makes sense that you start out.
Okay, we're gonna recognize Karen Wintrow, Tom Kugler, who will be in attendance, and I've offered them the opportunity to speak if they like. I don't know if they will. I'm sure Tom will, and I'm sure Karen will. Now that I think about it, and the former Attorney General who helped out also, but he's not going to attend
Oh,
unless I tell him. But
Who's the former attorney general?
the current governor.
Is Malta have any stake in this?
Malta's out of town.
Okay.
He flies back from British Columbia that day.
That's going, that's
back
going,
too far.
it's going way back to where there was the committee for the acquisition of the property, and there were 20 people on the committee.
It was like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
No, I just extended an invite to Malta and Pam and Richard and Maureen,
Well,
Lisa
that's,
Goldberg.
Mhm.
That's good enough. I just,
Malta's on vacation.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Richard. And-
but he certainly tried way
Lisa
back
did.
when to
yes,
Oh, yeah.
get Wright State moving.
yeah.
Can we invite that Will Traveler guy from Wright State? From Double Bowler?
Don't mention double ever again. I don't know, did you contact the mayor directly? I know you said you sent her something.
Yes, and Mayor Pam, let's just double check, 'cause I'm pretty sure she said she would be.
She's everywhere.
She is everywhere.
I don't
It's
think
on her calendar and she will definitely be there.
Okay.
I'm make sure this is that. Yes, okay.
Somewhere along the line, we just, you always need to acknowledge the mayor. But- And
Yeah.
then council members, I know Brian can't be there, he's out of town.
Okay, I sent it to Judy, and
Uh-huh.
asked her to send it out to them, so. I don't know who's coming from there, but I think Judy will be there.
Anyway, you're going to acknowledge people?
Right, just a couple, just to begin with. And once I've done that, then, you know, I will turn over to
I'll
you for,
just- It'll be brief.
okay. And then, okay, the next is Colin, I think, should introduce Nestor. Colin, you can say whatever you want, as long as you want, acknowledge the Fires Association, Nate, the whole crew, however you want to do that. But that's your time, so use it wisely, and then, then introduce Nestor.
Okay.
And ask him to come up, and he indicated he wanted to say a couple things.
I hope he tells a story about the time frame, dropping his daughter off for college and beginning
Oh,
of the
yeah,
contract.
and now she's got
She's
3
6
kids. She's got 2 in high school. And then, we'll talk about it probably in the morning, if not, but Chris Widener, I offered Chris the opportunity to speak, and he declined. But I was hoping that perhaps it'll work out that you, after Nestor speaks, you could then introduce Chris, and I would like him, if there are, because we're having the pre-construction meeting in the morning. I don't know if any of these construction people, any of the 5 contractors might still be there at the groundbreaking. If they were, I would like Chris just to acknowledge
Yeah,
them. You know,
okay.
this is, you know, who's gonna do the electrical, this is gonna do the plumbing, you know, that take, 30 seconds or something, but, and then, go ahead.
Is there gonna be 3 copies typed up of this quiet agenda so that, I mean, I've been at events where at the last minute, someone forgets something.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. And then Colin was gonna turn this back to you to introduce Ashley and Ashley's guest, the state mucky muck,
Yes.
Sunny Purdue.
not Sunday Purdue.
And no David, Ashley's boss?
Yeah, Ashley's boss. Not Mike Davis, apparently he's not coming. Or if Mike's coming, he's not speaking, but apparently the other person is going to speak.
Okay, so I introduce Nestor, Nestor says your spiel, I point out Chris Widener, and if the other people are there, he can introduce them, and then I turn it over to Don.
When you say Mike Davis, how about Dave Hall?
That is the guy,
Okay.
Mike Davis, Dave Hall. Yes,
Dave Hall's not gonna be
Dave Hall is going to be there.
there.
He was there. Mike Davis is-
I like Dave Hall.
Mike Davis is the state architect.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he's back there reviewing the contracts and approving them.
That's why he can't make it.
Okay, and then last but not least, as they say,
Donald J. Trump, President of the United States.
probably not. All right, who's got the microphone? You do.
He's at the
You-
mic at this point.
Yeah, he says his thing and gives it back to you. And I get it again and introduce our secret weapon.
Wait, isn't that incestuous conflict of interest for you to make the introduction?
Of our secret weapon?
What is our secret?
Connie Taylor's our secret weapon.
Oh.
I wasn't sure.
Or should it be
Oh, excuse me.
I didn't know I had that kind of relationship.
Never mind.
with
I was thinking of something else.
her. I mean, I like her and
Turn
all.
off the camera.
This is a culmination of 10 years of work, so that to get silly is not.
At the
No,
very
no, no,
least.
I mean-
Okay, so I introduced Connie, as the only person I know who I can walk in the door and say, you happen to have $350,000 you've lent me unsecured, no collateral, just kind of on a handshake? And she said, sure. So I said, that's a secret weapon.
Okay, I misunderstood you. I thought you were talking about our star.
And there. So then at that time, as soon as, and I think she's gonna say a couple of things, but I don't think Connie speaks a whole lot of it. After that, then, you thought I was joking. What are the possibilities of getting those engines to spray water overhead, not into the crowd?
We don't have any of those, do we? conventions that do that?
Yeah, we've got the big thing lovers.
Oh, probably feel good.
In the crowd, no.
Day.
Yeah, just don't,
It's entirely possible.
All right, well, think about it.
I'll have to see how many
just
people
don't
I
make
end
a
up with.
mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be great if we could synchronize that, because I've made a couple of calls to Wright Pat, and we may be getting F-35 flyovers, and B-1 bombers,
You're lying.
and B-52s.
Yeah, right.
And there is one YouTube spy plane that's still in service, and they said they could probably get it out of the
Right,
museum
just
and get it
11
over.
o'clock at night after a couple glasses of
I'm
wine.
But at 90,000 feet, we might not be able to see it.
I might be able to get Care Flight to fly over if you'd like that.
That'd be cool too.
Call me tomorrow and see what you can
How
do.
about Jim Hammer?
Oh, Care Flight and Jim Ham, they could dogfight them.
Okay,
Seriously,
But actually, I will.
we're not gonna do two planes.
So, no, rather, well, you just never know on these things.
Maybe a helicopter.
Maybe.
They love that kind of stuff.
The only other thing I was thinking of is parking for the crowds. Should we just park everywhere, park them everywhere with it, where they will get a car wash in the event our equipment sprays?
We can park them on the, where everyone was parking for friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fun with that.
Now, that will be a visual backdrop. It'll be behind.
Pretty far
Yeah,
away.
the trucks will be behind the lectern and stuff, and we'll have to, given how busy we've been recently, I'll probably have to pull one of the ambulances out and just leave it on the street in case we get a call. Because then that'd be kind of.
You're killing my,
Well, it's just an ambulance,
My
it's not gonna
symmetry
squeeze an
here.
IV bag or something. I mean, they could if you want.
it was 2 engines, 2 medics, and then a brush truck and a rescue truck.
Well, yeah, but someone's gotta go on a call.
There's no calls.
Yeah, we're holding calls.
Yeah, hold that call.
We call Care Flight, they handle our calls for us during that time.
Well, you can leave enough space to back out gently.
I'll see what we can do, I'll run out there tomorrow. We'll do a dry run.
But actually, that would add to the drama of the event.
Yeah.
If there was a call.
Yeah, lights and sirens.
Well, if CareFlight comes, we could have somebody put on a gurney and just load them up.
I think we're having too much fun.
Now, is there such thing as too much fun? All right. Is there anybody else you would like to invite and have speak? We have approximately 45 minutes worth of speakers, it seems. And
It's a lot.
It is a lot,
But
but
then
we
the
got
backhoe
nothing,
has to leave.
we got nothing else to do except,
Shoveling is after all the speeches, right?
right, shoveling's after the speeches.
Shoveling and then a big dig.
Right, we'll move the lectern and the PA off to the side. Say, gentlemen, grab your shovels or something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever else, whoever we got there.
Okay,
And then we'll have our ceremonial
shoveling.
shoveling.
The ground's gonna be really hard.
It is gonna be really hard.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe you could soften it up.
yeah,
Dan already
Brother
did.
Tiller.
Dan did, but he softened up five shovels worth, not 10 shovels worth, so.
Damn!
We'll have to have our strongest volunteers on the one side. And, okay, so is there anyone else you would like to invite and have speak?
Not that I can think of.
Is there any,
We got a big list for the eventual ribbon cutting.
oh yeah, I know. Mhm.
That's why you got the Class A uniforms, that'll be a formal affair, you guys don't have to wear your tuxedos.
Yeah, I know.
Your green Miami Township tuxedos.
It's being sewed as we speak. Okay, is there anything that bothers you about the sequence of events? What's going to be there? Who's going to be there?
No, okay.
Balloons, ice cream?
I support balloons and ice cream.
I'm not gonna release the balloons.
No, we can't do that, I've seen, that's bad.
No, you don't reuse
Yeah,
those turtles, they need to live. Okay,
it's frowned upon.
so we're good with that?
Sure.
All right,
Appreciate your work on that.
no problem.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I'm excited.
And I can sleep the night before I go.
Oh, sure.
You think Sonny Purdue's gonna come for the ribbon cutting? If he's still in office.
Yeah, he's still in office, sure. Okay, so other than the plan that we've talked about of, this is moving forward, of having this building appraised, having an environmental site review done, having discussions with, it's gonna be probably a bunch of folks like the Yellow Springs Foundation, local banks, the CDC, which we have met and discussed the possibility of the CDC acquiring this building. And the members who were at the meeting were all in favor of it, of exploring that possibility. You know, we talked about it at our last meeting, and we were in favor of exploring that possibility. So, we'll spend a couple of months, I guess, hoping to firm up, you know, the quote deal and get it done, so then after the first of the year, hopefully we can make that transfer and assist with their marketing of that. So, I'm excited about that. I think that's about it. I know the contractors, if I haven't said this, the contractors have talked about moving equipment onto the site by the end of September, the ground moving equipment, and beginning to move dirt off the site or off the topsoil within a week or 10 days of the equipment getting there. And then boring, that would take about a week, and then the geoperiod boring would start after that. So then you're still in mid-October. That doesn't take very long, according to somebody. And then, you know, you have the foundations and all the rest of those good things, so. Lots of stuff coming up to look forward to. All right, anything else for the new firehouse? Cemetery and road, we have two things to address. One is the annual report of the roads. Shall we do this by resolution and then,
Yes, that, they asked
and
to do
then-
that, so,
is there a time?
you mean the number,
Yeah,
2019-35?
okay, a time they want this returned by?
Oh, mid-November. You don't have
Okay.
to do it tonight, I mean, but, you know, why not? It's like 20 years.
And Dan needs to go over,
You want Dan to look at this before you submit it then? If you wanna wait till Dan comes back.
well, I mean, we could
That
go
makes-
through every one of these and, you know,
Nothing's
put the
changed though,
conditions
right?
in,
Oh, you mean the condition remarks
condition
also?
remarks, cost, labor, estimate,
Oh,
materials. that's what-
yeah, Dan can do that, but you can
Yeah,
adopt it if you want.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right,
Who identifies the road number? Is that the county engineer's
Yes.
classification?
yeah. It may be Ohio, it might be the Ohio Department of Transportation
Okay.
also. So we have before us, annual report of Township roads, which is gonna be resolution 2019-35.
Mhm.
I thought we had 35 last month.
I don't,
That just sticks in my mind for some reason. We
30,
argued back and forth, 34 and 35.
I think we did, yeah, let me go quick check real quick.
This actually says 36 annual report of Township roads
Oh, that's,
yeah, that's what
that's what I meant.
on your agenda.
Yeah, because I think.
Well, then that doesn't conflict with my memory. It's 35 that would have.
That, and that's correct, it is 36. I spoke incorrectly, but it is 36, as it says, yeah.
Are you moving?
Well, but there's nothing in here yet.
We'll fill
No,
it
it's
out.
just, basically, this is the amount, the mileage is
Okay,
the most important part.
Yeah, if you look on the back, the amount of, 14,633, that's the same mileage
I
we dealt
move
with.
adoption of resolution 2019-36, the
Thank you.
annual report of our 14.633 miles of road.
I'll second it. Any further discussion? Hearing none, may we vote, please?
Mr. Hollister,
Yes.
Mr. Mutcher,
Yes.
I saw you signing that. You want me to sign?
oh, yeah.
But I think we're gonna sign the original here.
Mhm.
And you have the original of the Clifton?
Yep.
Okay.
Sign both of those too, and then we can keep one and move one on.
Okay, so we also have before us a contract between the Village of Clifton and Miami Township for snow removal and street and sign repair for the year ending December 31, 2019. Apparently, we overlooked this at the beginning of the year.
Yes, apparently we did.
Apparently, we did.
It's the exact same as what we had last year. We used to have a much simpler
Yes, we did.
contract, but the village solicitor for the Village of Clifton, whoever that is
Okay.
added more words.
Yes, there were from Warren. I'd entertain a motion to enter into this contract between Clifton and Miami Township for snow removal and street sign repair as specified in the document before us, which is the same document that we had last year.
I so move.
We have a motion, is there a second? Oh, I'll second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, may we vote, please?
Mr. Mutcher,
Yes.
Mr. Hollister.
Yes.
Are these both originals?
Yeah, if you could just sign both of them and and we'll keep one and send them along.
You sign first and then I'll sign so we don't take the wrong line.
No wrong lines.
Remind me the rough total of what we were paid by them last year, when we billed by the hour,
It is $50 an hour, I don't know.
$50 plus
plus material.
plus material, it runs out roughly 1,500, depending upon
How much is
how much,
going?
well, the snow is fairly consistent, but it depends upon the street repair, you know, if we did a culvert or two, or, I don't
They
think.
seem to have lower standards than we have on our railroads. I mean, because we depend on them calling and saying, we want this filled, correct?
Yes. Well, when you've got a, you know, when you've got an operating budget of,
30,000, I think?
yeah, for the whole year, you can't be real generous with your spreading it around. Yep. Yeah. it is. Okay, let's see, contract line, we just did all that. Just wanna let you know, because we did sign the check for it, all our road chip seal has been completed. Harbison, Larkins, and Panyard. And there are a couple of roads that need to be fogged before the end of the year, and hopefully they will get to it. They seem to always take forever to fog roads, but it's all right, as long as they do it. It's kind of interesting that Dan was talking about, he said they did a real nice job on the chip seal, which is fine, comment. He says they didn't use as much stone as they did in past years. And well, that's good, because then, you know, the bike people don't complain so much, and cars don't tend to slide off the side of the road and that sort of stuff. Although, I did go through the roads yesterday afternoon, which is like a week after they've been chip sealed, and you can already start to see tar coming, you know, tar lines coming up through the surface. And usually when they put a decent chunk of stone down on there, you don't see it until it gets pushed down after a while, so. Who knows how long that's gonna last? But next year, all of those will be fogged, so maybe that'll help. Just thought I'd mention that. Okay, anything else for the cemetery? Then, we do have a natural burial scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. Brandon is, no, Wednesday afternoon at 2 o'clock, I'm sorry. Brandon is prepared to do that. I'm going to offer to help if he wants it.
Somebody local?
No, I don't believe so. And it brings up something that we may end up discussing further as time goes on, but this burial is, I believe, 12 days after the death of the internee. And our regulations state that there is a maximum of a 3-day period before.
This is what we just have adopted as our standard, it's
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
state law. or
Right,
anything.
it's just what we've adopted. So, we have had people, funeral homes push us on the time. Actually, the one burial, natural burial, the week prior to this one, which was a week ago, was, I think, 7 or 8 days after the passing, so. It's, you know, we may wanna bring it up with the cemetery sexton when he gets back, because those are the people that are doing the work, and those are the people who are most affected by the length of time from the death to the burial, so.
Often there's the use of a morgue refrigerator.
And those are used in these cases, but unless you're actually freezing, you know, then
There is still decay.
yeah, and Dan was fairly upset about, one, not being here for this, and two, having Brandon have to deal with a 12-day, for what little benefit it's going to be. They waited the 12 days because they couldn't get a casket that they wanted right away, and at
But it's
least.
a natural burial, right?
Mhm.
So I thought caskets weren't part of the deal.
No, you can use caskets as long as they're all natural, and there are all natural caskets available in the market. But at least that will give some more containment available. So anyway, might talk about that.
So this is, you're saying at some point we should review our rules.
Yeah, review them or be more mandatory as to, I'm sorry, but this is just the way it is. So, anything else for the cemetery in the road? How about the fiscal officer? What has she been up to? Okay, well, zoning
But
inspector?
I whipped out a little resolution here.
Okay.
2019-37, amendment of a permanent appropriations. Whereas it is an ongoing process to accurately appropriate funds according to the needs of the township. Now therefore the trustees authorize an amendment to the following permanent appropriations. In the fire fund, increased training services by $1,000 and increased water and sewer by $350. And in EMS building, also increased training by $400.
That's resolution 2019-37.
Yep.
Is there a motion to approve that resolution?
I so move.
I will second. Any further discussion regarding adoption of resolution 2019-37? Hearing none, may we vote please?
Mr. Hollister,
Yes.
Mr. Mutcher,
Yes.
end of story. You
All
can
right.
sign it.
Zoning Building inspector, no Mr. Zoff. Check in with him at our next meeting. Standing committee reports. Yikes.
I noticed that MVRPC seems to be on vacation.
Well, the TAC definitely is. Hold the phone, give me 1 second, I made a report and everything. Lost his time. So at the most recent MVRPC meeting, we recommended changes in a bunch of different transportation programs, the CMAC projects, the transportation improvement projects, the Fast Act Fund projects for 2020, 21, sure. Had an interesting information item. MVRPC is taking on a new responsibility funded by the Dayton Foundation. It's going to be a disaster recovery assistance project, program that will be coordinated by MVRPC. They're going to hire a director for that and put together a plan that as disasters come in different levels of disasters, who's responsible for doing what. And I can provide that if anybody's interested in.
Isn't that kind of leading in the world of transportation, or, I
Mhm.
guess, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so, I guess, never mind, go ahead. I
Um,
guess it seems like MVRPC's about ready to do anything. Do they have any limits on their,
No, not really.
Yeah.
If they have funding.
And as they have with the region, it's kind of open-ended.
then, okay.
Yeah. If they can get it funded and if they can find the personnel
Mhm.
and have the space, and you're absolutely right, it has been, pretty much transportation planning
For years.
for years.
Yeah,
And
that's what I
this,
was, what?
this executive director has just, decided that there are more things out there that could benefit from the work that they do
Yeah.
on a regional basis.
Mhm.
And then there was the Greene County Regional Planning, and there wasn't a whole lot going on there. It was just regular vouchers and subdivision reviews and quarterly audits, and they're starting to work on, we are starting to work on putting together the basics of the review of the county's long-term comprehensive land use plan, and they had a contribution, I don't know if we call it a contribution, from the Greene County Commissioners of $50,000 towards that process. So it basically works out that it's gonna be just a little under $100,000 to have that review done. The county's gonna contribute $50,000. The in-kind work contributed by regional planning is about $25,000. I got these numbers exactly right. And MVRPC is contributing approximately $47,000 worth of planning contribution to the project. So,
Wait, MVRPC
Mhm.
is giving this to Greene
County,
PC.
For a transportation plan, right?
for a comprehensive land use
Oh,
plan.
comprehensive, okay.
For a review, an update of the comprehensive land use plan. Our last one was in the year 2000, and this one is a 2020 plan. So, that will be coming up, so lots of comprehensive plan reviews coming up. Villages, the counties, and frankly, the township is probably old enough that it'll be looked at again, we might bring that up tomorrow night, just see what the response from the zoning commission. That reminds me, we are having a special meeting that has been publicized. New business. It's been, oh, wait a minute, hold the phone, we can't go to new business, we gotta go to all the other stuff.
I have, in the spirit of regional planning, but it
Mhm.
really doesn't fit the specific commission I'm on, I've been to two programs, that MVRPC, whatever, and Miami Conservancy District co-sponsored,
Mhm.
one I mentioned before on drainage. And then last week, it was on drainage in part, but the title was nutrient runoff issues.
Mhm.
And although we do not have drainage responsibility, Ohio doesn't really have one agency for local areas. There's a soil water conservation district, there are different drainage districts that have to do with specific ditches.
Mhm.
And I've just made it a concern with the increase in so-called heavy, well, there's another name, but the heavy rains, there are more intense rains.
Mhm.
It's becoming more of an issue, and it has to do with land use, it has to do with
Mhm.
farming practices, it affects our roads and the immediate drainage around our roads. And I don't know when, but I suspect sometime over the next 10 years, there will be some state laws changing, trying to have more planned control over drainage patterns.
Mhm.
But I found these really well done. Who was the environmental guy for MVRPC?
Matt Lindsay, I think.
Yes, he's really good.
Mhm.
And they're well attended,
Right?
very well attended.
Hmm.
Enough said.
Interesting. I'd like to back up just for 1 second to fiscal officer, I forgot to mention. There's in your accounting system, there's a $30 check that was made out to the Village of Yellow Springs for a deposit on the Bryan Center gymnasium when we use that.
Yeah,
And I just told them to go ahead and rip it up as opposed to,
because,
well, they don't, we didn't.
They would return it if there was no damage.
Yeah.
it was ripped up,
Yeah.
somebody ripped it up?
Oh, she offered to either mail it back to us or rip it up, or I could come and get it.
Well,
Didn't
I
think it was
probably
worth
need
50
to
cents.
avoid it in the system, or else it's gonna be considered uncashed for, and I have to save it for 5 years.
That's why I'm telling you about it. All right. Back to,
Yeah, a $30 check,
back to old business,
okay.
or new business.
Wait.
Standing committee report.
Standing committee, yeah, how's about cooking in the cemetery, any
No
action
report.
there? No report? No new chip seal there yet. If anybody wanted to know. They haven't made it there. Any census committee work?
Nothing worth mentioning.
No, okay. I brought up the YSCDCC and what's going on there with the bylaws and soon to be 501c3 application. I didn't stop at the mill yesterday, there were people there, so I didn't go in. Under new business, I thought this was interesting. If anyone heard that our county prosecutor has decided not to run for reelection
Really?
in next year.
Wow.
And
He doesn't want to run against Alice DeWine.
our former
He said
assistant,
it was family thing, the paper.
our former assistant county prosecutor, Alice DeWine, has announced that she will be running for the office.
Really?
That's why she left working for Greene County. We don't need to go into that.
No,
Well, what about chief deputy then?
well, we don't know who else might run.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Wow.
And the
Intriguing.
filing deadline is not,
Yeah.
is it January?
No, it's December,
December.
second week of December, first, it was the first week and it's just changed because they moved primary.
Maybe I'll run. Go to law school first.
The last thing that I had was I wanted to just quickly, because we haven't really done this yet, gone over who the winning bidders were for the project for the firehouse. We do know that J-Car, because we've talked about that, they will be doing the general work and labor in addition to the overhead doors now and the electrical work. But the plumbing work was awarded to Fredco Industrial Piping in Miamisburg, with a total amount of $349,913. The mechanical work,
Do you want me to put this in the minutes?
no, it's not
Okay.
necessary. We'll probably hear all these. The mechanical work was awarded to Houck Brothers of Springfield in a total of $406,000. Data communication bid was awarded to Fischel Company of Cincinnati in the amount of $153,722.51. And last but not least, well, we did talk about them, the bid package for the site work was given to Fillmore Construction, Leesburg, Ohio, in the total amount of $545,196.
That's the biggest working contract.
Oh, no, the general contractor is gonna be way over 3,700,000, I think the total is. It all adds up to about $4,970,000, which is under the maximum contractor's estimate, the building estimate. All right. Any other business before us this evening? Reminder, the pre-construction meeting is 9:30 Wednesday morning. It's here. I really don't know what goes on, but we're going to find out. So, I would move for an adjournment.
So moved.
Moved and seconded and by
Thirded.
acclamation, thirded, yeah.